And the other piece of legislation debated in the Senate today would shield pesticide manufacturers from civil lawsuits, despite the health risks associated with these products. Local 5's Megan McPherson joins us from the Capitol. Megan, debate over this bill took quite some time.
It did indeed, Stephanie. And in recent years, more and more Iowans have found themselves diagnosed with cancer, and more Iowans have been using the popular weed killer Roundup. Many doctors believe that Roundup and one of the chemicals in Roundup may be the cause of those cancers for several of these Iowans. And despite widespread opposition from Democrats and some local organizations, Republican-led legislation that would prohibit Iowans from suing the makers of these pesticide companies, that would be blocked and they wouldn't be able to do so anymore. Now that legislation is heading to Reynolds' desk.
Cancer rates in Iowa are rising, and certain chemical products used by farmers and landowners across the state have been found to increase the risk of developing health problems.
That's including chemicals like Roundup and Paraquat, which study after study has already demonstrated will increase your risk of developing either cancer or Parkinson's.
But a piece of legislation debated on the Senate floor Tuesday would give pesticide manufacturers full defense from civil liability. Republicans argue that parent company Bayer, which produces Roundup, should be protected, since a federally approved warning label is printed on every bottle.
What it does is prevents a company, any company, who manufactures these agricultural chemicals, it prevents them from being sued for following the law.
But opponents of the bill say that the warning label doesn't outwardly display the product's health risks and therefore isn't doing enough to inform the public.
If we in this chamber eliminate their duty to warn of health risks by saying that any esteemed warning label from the EPA, quote, shall be sufficient, unquote, then they have complete lifetime immunity from liability. And
despite back and forth debate, the bill has passed out of the Senate and could now be signed into law.
And Stephanie, I also want to note that some other states have considered similar legislation to this bill. In Idaho, Florida, and Missouri, legislators in Florida and Idaho, they both struck down the bill. It never made it anywhere, while in Missouri, the similar legislation is still up for consideration. Reporting live at the State House, Megan McPherson, Local 5 News.